Take a look at this image. How does it make you feel? Spooked? Frightened? Bewildered? The uncanny valley effect is a hypothesized psychological and aesthetic relation between an object's degree of resemblance to a human being and the emotional response to it. The way the uncanny valley effect works is often shown using this graph. Up to a certain point, the closer something is to being a human being in appearance and/or action, the more we find it enjoyable to interact with or cute. However, past a certain threshold, as the object becomes more and more human-like, it becomes unsettling. The object reaches a place where it's close enough to be identified as a human being, but not so convincing as to actually fool a person. It's so close to a regular human, but something is off. Some part of your mind is telling you that what you're seeing isn't actually human, it's something you should fear. This dip in the chart is what we have identified as the uncanny valley. The uncanny valley effect is a psychological phenomena where humanoid objects such as robots, CGI, dolls, and/or scary faces that appear almost but not exactly human elicit feelings of eeriness, revulsion, or fear in observers. This fear often triggers the fight or flight responses within a human, when seemingly there is no reason to feel such feelings. The reasons that humans feel this effect have been argued, but never fully conclusive because of how wide the uncanny valley applies. For some people, it's dolls. For others, human-like faces. For others, things such as CGI, or even children, or people with body dysmorphia. However, one theory that stands above the rest, as more terrifying and more plausible than any other, is the mimic theory. Throughout humanity's histories and cultures, in their stories, common characteristics can be found. Mimicry, whether it be voice, body snatching, things that appear almost human-like, similar to skinwalkers from Navajo culture. These sorts of creatures exist all across the world in cultures who never had communication with each other. A similar story sticks. Why is that? Is it some natural fear that we have in all humans? Is it purposeful? Or is it without reason? What do these cultures and their stories warn against? What thing is equally inspiring to all humanity? Mimicry is a very common strategy in the animal kingdom, and not only that, but some primates use it even to this day. So clearly, this fear is grounded in something. What I want to do is pull apart the most convincing theories to figure out what that something is. So the theory goes that the reason that we feel fright at seeing something almost human-like is that in our past there was something, perhaps another species or entity or object that was a predator to humanity, something that gave us a reason to code fear into our very DNA even to this day. Perhaps this species or entity was driven extinct by humanity. As we can see, anything that's scary to us, we often kill. Or they're still among us to this day, and as the reason we still feel the uncanny valley effect. The mate selection theory. The theory of mate selection goes that the reason we feel the uncanny valley is due to trying to pick out undesirable features from potential mates, such as low fertility and strength. However, it is highly unlikely that the reason we feel fear in fight or flight with certain humanoid beings is because we don't want to reproduce with them. The religion theory. This theory states that the reason we may feel the uncanny valley is due to a being soulless or evil. Across many different folklore and cultures, anti-humanity or good forces often were similar to uncanniness. However, the reason that this religious theory doesn't always apply is that dolls and AI never existed to these cultures. And even now, dolls and AI don't always give everyone the uncanny feeling. As well as this, there are too many different types of religious beliefs when it comes to demons and devils for every human to fear that aspect of a being. Other hominid theory. According to human science, alongside other hominids far back in humanity's past, lived Neanderthals, our relatives. And the thought is that due to us hunting them hunting us, cannibalism, fighting, and whatever, we have this uncanny valley effect to things that look like them. However, this theory has some holes in it, seeing as we share a lot of our DNA with Neanderthals, so obviously not everyone found them uncanny enough to not mate with them. As well as this, if they hunted us or we hunted them, they're far gone now, and yet we still have this uncanny valley effect for no observable reason. Lastly, the disease/death theory. This theory states that the reason we feel the uncanny valley is due to our natural avoidance of corpses and disease. The reason corpses are a threat to us is because they often carry diseases, and diseased people are obviously a threat to our health. So the theory goes that we have a programmed counter against this by feeling fear. However, a lot of uncanny valley looks nothing like sick or dead people, yet it still gives the effect. As well as this, not all people or versions of dead bodies are uncanny or even scary. The reason that corpses may be disturbing is because of the nature of life being missing from a human, but that is not what the uncanny valley qualifies for. So although there are all of these different theories, there is always something to disprove them, or some place it does not affect, except for the mimic theory. Why, when things are human-like in appearance, or harmless in their portrayal, or even friendly by nature, do our brains tell us something is wrong? Something is not as it appears. Why would our brains send us fight or flight signals when the situation does not even require it? What is going on beneath the surface? Though the uncanny valley appears differently in each person, you cannot deny the own feeling of your fear. Something is causing it. What it is, we may not want to find out. I kiss you in the